Nyasha was a young girl blessed by the gods with extraordinary powers. She could heal the sick, bring rain to dry lands, and protect the people of her village from harm. The gods chose her because of her strength and abilities, but they also gave her a warning: your anger will be your downfall. Use your power wisely. Though Nyasha tried to follow their advice, she had a temper she couldn't always control, and her anger often led to terrible consequences. One day, a young boy was brought to Nyasha for healing. He had fallen gravely ill, and his mother begged Nyasha to save him. As Nyasha prepared to heal the boy's father, known for his rude and disrespectful behavior, mocked her. "What can this girl do?" he sneered. "She's just a child, playing with powers she doesn't understand." Nyasha's face flushed with anger. Her temper flared as she raised her hand over the boy. But instead of healing him, her rage made her power spin out of control. The boy screamed in pain as his illness grew worse instead of better. The god's warning echoed in Nyasha's mind. Realizing her mistake, she took a deep breath and calmed herself, eventually healing the boy. However, her moment of anger left lasting scars on the boy's body, a reminder of the damage her uncontrolled power could cause. Weeks later, during a long dry season, the villagers pleaded with Nyasha to summon rain. Without water, their crops would die, and the village would starve. Nyasha stood on the hilltop, chanting and lifting her hands to the sky, calling for rain. But just as she prepared to complete the ritual, Kwame, an enemy from a rival village, appeared. He was a cruel man who had always taunted Nyasha for her powers. "You, a child playing God." Kwame laughed. "You can't even control yourself, let alone the skies." Kwame's mocking words filled Nyasha with fury. She shouted at the sky, and instead of a gentle rain, she summoned a violent storm. Thunder cracked, lightning struck the dry fields, and a fire began to spread. The villagers screamed in terror as their crops burned. Nyasha tried to stop the storm, but the damage was done, the fields were destroyed, and the village would face hunger because of her anger. Nyasha's temper reached its peak during her final confrontation with Kwame. He came to the village square and challenged her in front of everyone. "You are nothing but a puppet of the gods," he spat. "A girl pretending to have power." Blinded by rage, Nyasha raised her hands, ready to strike Kwame down with all her might. But just as she unleashed her power, the earth beneath them cracked open. A dark force, buried deep within the land, began to rise. The gods had warned her that if she allowed her anger to control her, she would unleash something terrible. The dark force spread quickly, consuming the village. Nyasha froze in horror as the curse she had awakened threatened to destroy everything. She realized too late that her uncontrolled anger had not only hurt the people she was supposed to protect but also brought a greater danger to the village. The gods had given her immense power, but her inability to control her temper had unleashed a curse far more powerful than anything she had ever imagined, and so, the once great savior of the village stood helpless, watching as her anger brought disaster upon them all.